Welcome to In the Booth. It's your boy Flobo Boys, and we're talking with fans of some of the best teams on the planet. In fact, it was only about 2 weeks ago when someone told me the Colorado Rockies are a fantastic team, but there aren't black fans. I said, no, no. We actually are being joined by one of the biggest fans here. Please welcome Nakia Grace, who is a huge fan of the Rocks. What's up?
Hello, hello. Yes, Colorado native here. It's a Colorado Rockies thing.
Let's go. So you're a Colorado native. Is it true what they say? Like people out there are just built different, high elevation, just being able to like withstand the cold and all that stuff. Or
Yeah, we withstand the cold. We complain about it and get back out there again.
I hear you.
44 years, I ain't went nowhere, born and raised, and
Yeah.
not looking at moving anytime soon. I swear I threaten being a snowbird all the time, but we see where that's making. I'm here in Colorado right now, and it's cold as a dickens, but
Yeah.
I'm still here.
And so you love it. Like you it kind of seems like you're on basically this is your forever state, right? For sure.
Yeah, I planted my foundation here. My children is here. My grand divas is here, and I'm actually a second generation Coloradan, and then my children and my grandchildren. So we're four generations in.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So what I mean, I don't know, I sound like a scientist or a nature guy, but what's the culture like? Because you hear guys like, "Oh, I'm from New York, right? I'm from Brooklyn. We have a certain kind of swag. Chicago has their own. Like, what's like the identity you think of when you think of Denver or Aurora or Boulder or Colorado Springs?"
And what's crazy is they all have in each individual type of culture. To be quite honest with you, especially when it comes to black. Um, we all wanted to go to CSU or CU, CU Boulder or CSU in Fort Collins. And no, we're not historically out there and have never been. But you do have select few of us that go to college there and come back. I mean, stay. I actually went to CSU in Fort Collins and then I came back down to the city because I'm a city chick. And
Okay.
Colorado's culture, I mean, it really just depends on what's your flair. What's your flavor? You either outdoorsy, you do the mountains, you do the hikes, you like to do the party scene. I think we're pretty laid back. We've always been laid back, but here and driving was our main thing, was being pretty laid back, and
Yeah.
now everybody drives with such aggression. God, you guys should. If that was me 25 years ago, my God, we'd have a ticket. And now,
Right.
like, you know what? I'm like, oh my God, y'all drive too fast for me. I can't do it.
Yeah, first time I rode through Denver, I like how there's like the whole mountain slopes and there's just signs being like, "Yep, 6 degrees drop, deal with it." And people just like driving around, driving around me. I was like, "Oh no."
We do a lot. To be honest with you, we do a lot in the winter months and in precipitation and everything. You still have nightclubs that thrive in the
Yeah,
winter because we want to get out the house. And for me, as long as it's not actively precipitating, I'm
right.
outside. I
That's
don't
what's
care
up.
no outside. Long as they shoveled and they got the salt melt down, I'm good. And I got a and then here's the thing. Some Coloradans don't really have a coat, but we'll put on a scarf and a vest or something. If you really look at us, we don't really be having on a full coat because we get in the car, we go to our destination, and we come back. But
Yeah,
when it gets to them negative degrees, you're like, oh my God, stand home because I ain't even.
no coat, just like a cartoon character, just a hat
Yeah,
and scarf, and just
have them big parkas and the big puffer coats and stuff. That's what we
yeah,
used to wear. And then when the Rockies came out and they had their bomber jacket and we could pull them over and put our hands
yeah.
in the front of you, boy, that was the stuff. That was the closest you had to it, like a coat. And it had a hood, but it wasn't that thick. It was thin.
So let's talk about the Colorado Rockies because they're like a peak '90s team, like silver, purple. Came to the area with a bunch of fanfare, and you said you were Colorado like day one. You were a day one fan. What was that like though when you had the news that you guys were getting your own team?
I was coming into middle school when the Rockies came here. Well, I was actually in middle school when Rockies came here in 90. We just hit 30 years because my son is 95. Yeah, I had my kid, my first two early, but and they're a year older than him. So they're 30 years old right now. 1994 is when they was established, and I was coming right into going in high school. So I was like, that's pretty dope. And the colors was awesome. Like, who could not like the Rockies? Black, gold, and black, white, and purple. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's pretty color. So we was wearing that because all we had was the Broncos, and I'm a diehard Bronco fan. I'm actually football, far as my preference of sport, but my family is baseball, and so I'm always gonna go with what I was raised as, and then football intertwined because some of us Coloradan grazes we like football, but we had the Broncos and we had the Nuggets.
Hmm.
Now nothing with baseball, and that was it. You can
Yeah.
go out and t-ball, but that was just at your local rec. But we didn't have baseball. We got that team. Everybody was downtown, and then
Yeah.
at Coors Field, we was like, "Oh, this is nice. This is gonna be wonderful." Packed it out. Excuse me, all the time. The game, it's the ambiance. You have to go to a game. It's not. It's like no other. I love Rockies games. They're so fun, and I'm
I
not a drinker.
For sure. That's also important to say because a lot of times people, when you tell people about going to different ballparks, they go, "Well, I'm not really into beer. Like, you don't need to drink to have a good time at these games." And so
Yeah,
I respect that. I had the pleasure of going to Coors Field for the first time last year. I'm trying to go to all 30 ballparks myself, and I'm going out there, and I was like, "Yeah, it was a pretty." I had Rocky Mountain oysters. It was a good. It was a good time. Like it felt pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's legit. So,
I
so
have the peanuts. The
oh, you're a peanut person for sure. Yeah, I like that.
love them. Telling you, I like it. I used to go and be just out in the crowd. Now I've kind of upgraded as I've gotten older, and I go to the Rockies game in the suites. So, but it's still the same ambiance. It's still good. It's just catered. It's
Yeah.
fun. We got
Okay. All right. Catered club seats. What's up?
okay because I'm bougie. It's okay. I do that for the Nuggets and the Rockies and the Broncos.
Right.
I don't play. I be
Yeah.
in for sure.
That's
And
what's up.
I'm trying to, and I go to the Avs games as well. So the Avs is good, and we definitely don't have a presence in hockey at all.
Sure.
I feel awkward, but I'm still a native, so I'm still going anyway. I don't care.
I gotta ask then. Do you go to Rapids games too? Or is that too much?
The Rapids I've been to one. So
Okay. Because they're kind of outside the cities. That's why I didn't know if you were thinking about that.
yeah, they're outside the city, and I've only been to one, but it was pretty dope because Rocky, the mascot for the Nuggets, had a birthday party. I was just at his game, and all our mascots were there. That was nice.
The mascot had a birthday party.
He did. He did at the game. He sure did. You see,
Okay.
they had on a whole gold. He was dressed to impress, but they had all the mascots from all of our different teams. And there's a new team, and he kind of looked like Gumby, but he was blue with I don't know what he had on. I was like, I don't know what that sport is, but I'm gonna go to that too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I don't
I'm
have
gonna
birthday
try that
parties,
too.
but if mascots
Yeah,
have birthday parties, I should probably get on that.
man, because they're paid pretty well to be in that costume. To be honest.
That's definitely true. So you had mentioned going to the park to see some games. I mean, what's your preference? You go solo, you go with the crew, you go with the family, daytime, nighttime, double headers. Like, what's the best daytime experience for you? You go out there.
I actually do like the. Now, here's the thing. Rockies' season opener is getting ready to start. I definitely suggest you go because it's a vibe. Downtown is a whole entire vibe for the Rockies season opener. Everything is purple and black and white down there, and definitely get tickets to the game because it's a vibe. And most of our season openers we win, and so it's really fun. And then I go. That's probably one of the main ones I go to during the week because most of our time our season openers is like Thursday or Friday, and I'll go in the daytime. Um, just move my schedule around and things like that. But I usually go on the weekends. I go with the kid. I take a grand diva or one of my kids. I try to get on their schedule and get a date. And so I do mom and daughter, mom and son date, Gigi and grandchild date, one of them. So I
Yeah,
take usually them. Friends, I haven't been with friends in quite some time because not a lot of my friends like baseball.
sure.
Yeah, I like it. My family likes it, but it's not a lot of my friends that like it. They more so just wear the colors.
Right. because
when
purple is a vibe. I mean, there's no other team that matches that whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, and they
right,
stay that way. Yeah.
right. So I usually just go with family. It'd be nice. I probably figure out something because tickets be cheap. You
Well, I
can
want
go
to.
to Super Zoo and look at the bottom of your receipt. Well, I don't know about right now because it's not Rocky season,
Yeah.
but you can get tickets for $18.
Yeah, I was going to say that because if you start talking about sweets and catered meals, I was like, oh no, because when I
Yeah,
went, it was like $7 for
yeah,
we call hot rocks, where it's like the far out section, like please get in the door, almost like a general admission situation. It opens up to fans of different economic status to come in, watch the game, very old school vibe in that whole thing.
yeah. The Hot Rocks is definitely, and then you have the Rock Pile, and that's over on totally on the other side from where you're saying, and um, Dinger is the mascot. I'm mad. I know like most of their names. It's fine.
Nah, you're good. Yeah.
Everything's great. Dinger's cute, but they have the rock pile. That's where Dinger usually is, and then I don't know about the no. I don't sit way up top. Plus the sun. That sun is disrespectful. Ain't nobody got outside. No, because we do tan. We got but we got skin and it tans, and I ain't trying to be blue, black, purple, brown, orange everywhere. Like, make it make sense. And then I gotta wait till winter to just get back to some semi color that my
Right.
body wants to take. No, so I'm not sitting in the sun. That's why I'm in the suites because
Okay.
I get extra seat space. I'm a little fluffy, and then
Yeah.
uh, I can still see the game. I like to sit behind the diamond.
That's what's up. That's a good view. Yeah, for sure. Like this being right on top of it. Yeah.
That's another thing. If you get up in the 100s, 200 seats, even if you're not in the suite, if you're like right in front of it, when you look out to watch the game, it's awesome. Like
Mhm.
that's like the best seats to have. Way up top, I don't know because I'm be worried about the sun, so I don't know how it looks up there. But the game is like I said, it's a vibe. It's the ambiance of
I,
the
I
whole
got
well-rounded game.
I gotta ask about wins and losses though. I mean, historically the team is pretty much underachieved, and a lot of times people don't really talk about the team on national sports as much. You don't really hear that name in the barbershops as much. Like, but what's your take on it? You're saying it's a vibe, but like, is it kind of like throw disrespect? Is it disrespectful? A team you love so much doesn't get talked about enough?
They don't get talked about enough, and that's really just because they haven't got a winning season. It's the same as the Nuggets. They were talked trash about, and now we're national champions, and it took us 30 some odd years to do it. Same thing with the Broncos. One thing about a Colorado sports fan, we loyal as hell. We might talk a lot of stuff and oh, this person needs to be fired, that person needs to be fired. But at the end of the day, we always gonna be a fan. Broncos team, my team last year, we didn't even make the playoffs, but I'm still a diehard Broncos fan.
Right.
We didn't make the playoffs for the Rockies. Still a diehard Rockies fan because we gonna win eventually. That's the home team. I the way I was raised, I don't really go against my home team. Plus, I've never lived anywhere else to want and like another team, so I don't know how that feels. I commend people that have two and three different sports teams in the same sport. I'm like, yeah, that's different. But for me, I just I'm
Yeah.
like I'm here. I'm a Coloradan. I'm always be a Colorado team. The Rapids. I don't even know they score, but I'm that team. That's my team.
Yeah, represent Colorado to the fullest. I respect the heck out of that. And speaking of representing, I mean the Hall of Fame results came out. Todd Helton's going in for the Hall of Fame, who was a Rocky. But let me ask you, the years you were watching, who were some of your favorites? Who were some of your guys? Who were some of the people you just like, oh, that's my homie when they played?
That's what I don't really get with the whole jerseys and stuff because it's hard to do that for me because I'm like, well, hell, then they won't be on the team, and now I got a jersey with this man's name on it. How about we just don't do all that? I'm gonna just get a jersey and we gonna say Rockies and we gonna be good.
Yeah,
The team as a whole. If you on the team this year, great. I like you too. If you ain't on team this next year, well, good riddance. And we like who's on team now.
yeah,
So I'm like, I don't know. I do remember Todd Helton's name. There's some other names that I do. If it's said, it rings a bell. I'm on the MLB. They send me stuff. I like to get a lot of perks, and then um, because you're in the suites and you put your email and stuff, you get the freebies and things. They like, oh, she come a lot. Here, you
Yeah.
want more tickets? Come on over here again. Perfect. See, I'm that one. So I
Okay.
all day.
I remember when was it 2 years ago when they signed Chris Bryant? It was like, oh my God, we back, baby. This is a hot shot. I mean, injuries got him, but I mean, like I felt there was going to be a concerted effort to be. But you guys are also in a tough division. You got the Dodgers in your division, the Padres, you got the Giants in your division. It sounds pretty heavy.
And it's like every other game we play in the Padres and we might win one and they win in five. I'm like, come on. Can we get somebody else that we can play? Come on. I
Yeah.
go to one Padre game. I went to a Dodger game and we almost had it. But a win is a win and a loss is a loss. And that game we lost. And
Yeah.
them fans, it was almost a fight because they was disrespectful. I was like, y'all need to get out of my state. Half of them live here. I said, how y'all live here? Y'all Dodger fans so mad.
So
That
that's my
game
next
was intense.
question, though. I mean, I gotta
That
be
game
honest with
was
you. When you're a
intense.
smaller team, when a bigger team comes into town, like people come out of the woodwork. I went
They
to a Rays game, and it was all Yankee fans in the crowd. Like that was kind of weird.
That was definitely weird. You be surprised at how many fans that you do have in your state that aren't for your state, but then you're like, where did all of y'all come from? Like, what is going on? Where, what? You're a Yankees fan? Oh, you're a Dodger fan? Never saw it coming. Yeah, kids all from down from the kids up to the elders. I said, oh my goodness, this is not okay. I'm need to take my mom to a baseball game so she can leave me alone about going to baseball games.
Yeah, you guys gotta take the friends. I always say try to spread the word as much as you can. But that's my next question too. You talk about like showing up there representing. What can we do as fans to get more of us out to games and out supporting our local teams? I mean, anything can like you can like tell the higher ups, hey, MLB, try this to get us out at more games.
Well, kind of follow what the Nuggets and the Broncos do when they have those culture nights. But here's the thing: the Rockies, they do have a culture night, but it's very heavy, or heritage night. It's very heavy on Spanish.
Mm.
It's not very black at all. So when the Nuggets had their black culture excellence, black, I think it was called Black Excellence Night. I was gonna get tickets to that game on the 2nd of February, but I ended up going to a different one. I think it was the 4th or the 5th, but that brought out people. And then honoring the troops. That's a big one. I love when all the sports honor the troops, and then honoring the who serves in the service that are actually baseball players or family of the baseball players. I don't know, like they're our Colorado team, but engage more with the Coloradans because they're not coming out as much, or even the black culture, but they heavy on Mexican or Spanish. When you get there, they have, what's it called, um how do you say it in Spanish? It's something with, it looks like Day of the Dead.
Oh,
You-
Dia de los Muertos,
huh?
Dia de los Muertos, like the with the
Yeah,
sugar
like
skulls
it
and
said something on it, and
yeah.
then as they was putting it all in the seats, we got all this free stuff, and it was dope. But it was all the Spanish heritage. I'm not knocking Spanish heritage. I know
Hmm.
Colorado has a lot of ties to the Spaniards and Native Americans, but we just don't tap into the black culture like that. Start doing those type of experiences. Get out into these schools because there's plenty of kids that love baseball, all colors, all races, but they think they don't. I don't really even hear a lot of my friends talk about baseball, not like we used to when we was in school.
Yeah,
And yeah, we've been out of school for quite some time, but I don't know if it's because they think the team sucks or what. I don't.
sure. Well, I
I
mean,
don't.
winning solves a lot of problems, but you're saying that there was actually more of an effort from the team 20, 30 years ago when it got here to engage with everyone. But now it seems, at least the black culture seems to be a second focus, secondary focus.
Yeah, they're more of a secondary or tertiary focus because tertiary, well, however you say it, third, because they don't really focus on us. And then Caucasians, yeah, they kind of dominate too. But I know a lot of the teams players may look like me and you, but when they speak Spanish because they
Hmm.
from Venezuela and all them other places, or Guatemala, some of the places that where they really be dark, Dominican Republic, and um, but that doesn't still negate that there's still some black players.
Yeah.
Um, we haven't had one in quite some time, but um, it would be nice to to try to be recognized a little bit more, because
It,
then we
it,
have big names for historically that were black,
right.
and they don't really. I from when I go to games, they don't really tap into it, and I don't like baseball on TV. It's boring as hell.
Oh, okay.
On it, I don't care
Even with
what.
the new rules, you're just like, nah, I'm not really feeling the TV game.
Man, I was tortured when I was a kid. Ain't nobody got time for that. It was two. We had UHF, and VHF. I'm like, no, and we had to watch cartoons, and then baseball come on from 11 to like 5. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it felt like it was, and then they, oh, and he's going down the road. Oh man, he's get the ball. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why am I
Yeah.
tortured as a kid? I can't go outside because it's snowing or something. I got to watch baseball.
So you gotta tell me this question then. So as you grew up with something that was super boring, what made you decide to go, I'm gonna go figure this out myself? Because I could totally will forgive you if you're like, I'm not even gonna go downtown the course field. Forget it. But you still went.
No, we still went because I was always told my big daddy, my grandpa, we call him Big Daddy. He always told me the game is way better in person, and
Mhm.
he was right. Because one, it goes by faster. Two, it's so I like the ambiance of the game. Whether we winning or losing, we all up, we amped, we having a good time. They're playing the music. You get to see what we don't see in the commercials when they have games, and that goes for all the sports. So that's why I like going to the actual game. It's way better. Watching it on TV, I think is absolutely boring, and
Mm.
I don't think I've actually watched a baseball game in my adult life on TV.
Well, I think a lot of people felt that way about the pace of the game. So last year they had the new rules, and now games were as short as 2 hours, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
that's 2 hours. I swear
Yeah.
it lasted till about 5, 6 o'clock on Saturday. So that was highly disrespectful to a kid.
with
Oh,
two with
and
two TV channels is disrespectful.
yeah, like, dude, we finish our morning cartoons on Saturday,
Yeah.
and rest of the day is baseball. And every time, or black and see, now I came from the era where it's black and white TV still. So we either had to watch cowboy movies
Yeah.
or baseball. And baseball was boring for me when I was a kid. I
I
didn't
think
like.
as a kid, I came to the tail end of that. This is why to this day I can't watch Bonanza to save my life. 'Cause my dad's thing. Bonanza was his thing. And you're like,
But
oh my god.
dang,
Yeah, I'd rather clean the house at that point. 3 o'clock in the
man,
afternoon. Let me
I,
go clean the house.
boys used to play shoot 'em up, robbers and cops and robbers all the time. And now I don't know. I have one son, so he didn't
Yeah.
have a little brother to play with. It was always a sister, so it was cool. He thought he could fly.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like,
Every boy at some point wants to fly or be the fastest boy on the planet. That's just the thing. That's the standard. We run it everywhere. Going nowhere, but we run it. We run it
nowhere. He
everywhere.
run fast. I'm like, you didn't get no far. Oh, you did great, son.
Yeah, yeah. Look at me, Bob. So I play MLB the Show, and my fictional character Silver Reyes is currently at Triple A Albuquerque, which is the minor league team for the Colorado Rockies, Triple A. And I thought that series is working hard to make baseball cool again. So the question I have for you is baseball cool? And is this one thing we can do to make it cool, to tap into the culture? We
Yeah,
tried like the more stuff, but what can you make it cool?
cool. Yes, baseball is cool because it's it's not a contact sport. A lot of parents are like, I mean, yeah, that ball is not okay. That ball can hurt, but they do have their little half a helmet. I call it half a helmet because it always has.
Yeah, yeah. Respect,
I
respect.
don't know why, because they have the ear cover and it's only on one side. So I thought, oh, they got their half a helmet on, but that's cute. But anyway, they still gotta have the knocker down below, and then they got the mouthpiece. But it's a non-contact sport, but it's like chill. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like not every kid wants to be, and I just acknowledged that with my own child. Like I thought, oh, he's gonna be chill. He'll like baseball, and he was like, no, I'm about ready to knock some heads off, so I'm gonna go play football. I said, okay, well, fine, do that. And
Yeah.
then we tried basketball, and he was just like, and he's tall enough, but he didn't like basketball. He took a liking to football. So I think that baseball is cool. It's just as cool as it is for the NFL. I mean, football, it's just as cool as basketball, and it's also as cool. I think soccer and baseball is actually better than the other two, but they're not as contact and talked about.
Sure.
So they're not the popular or the in crowd sport to certain cultures and dynamics of different cities such as ours. Baseball is not as popular.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like soccer and baseball are a lot of similarity together because it's about anticipation, right? Strategizing what's going to be, how to build up any kind of offensive or defensive run. So I'm with you with that 100%.
Yeah,
Um,
brain a little more. You use your
yeah,
brain in basketball and football, but you got to have a strategy and you got enough time and you chill about it. Not everybody's on that vibe, and I mean that's probably why they're like, oh, it's not as popular. But I wish it would be.
right. When I go to the course field real quick, at what's something that it's off the beaten path I should try? Like I know people go in there and look at the menus, they walk around, but something I should probably see if I only have one shot to go to course field.
Well, I think being behind the diamond or in that vicinity, because they perfectly mow or lawn or whatever they do to the lawn is so perfect, and it's just so green and it's so pretty. You have to get a picture. It's almost like you see the mountains almost every day, but there's some days you look and you're like, wow, that looks dope, like you ain't never seen it before. Same thing with the Rockies stadium. You got to be at least, I mean, even if you just say, hey, I just want to go to the club level and take a picture, they'd probably be okay with you doing that, and at the right time, probably at the 2 o'clock game or something like that. Sun is or 3 o'clock. The sun is starting to come down. That is so dope.
Yeah.
In my, I
I'm
like.
with you. I think the game I went to was a 6 o'clock game,
Hmm.
but it was like because the mountains are right there. I was on top of the stadium, not on top, but like the top floor. Sun is setting. I think you have one of the better video screens in the game, and I'm just sitting there, standing there with my beer, watching the sun go down. I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool. And then I'm looking at the mile marker line, right? Because you have like the mile marker seats. That where shows we're a high mile high of the city. I was like, man, this is dope. Like I
Hmm.
forgot I conquered Mount Everest, even though I had like minimal physical exertion to get
Right.
up top here.
Out there, and that is, I was just gonna say, you're looking at the field. That's a pretty scene, but then when you look up, because right at that diamond is kind of where you can see Mount Everest, and at the right peak, and it's not so much pollution. That'll have a pretty scenery of the mountains. Mile high salute.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you're not just a baseball fan, you're also an entrepreneur. We're talking about this before we went live. You are working on your own line of wines, which is pretty awesome. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, why not by Kia? I have a red blend, and my red blend is vintage 1980 because I was born in 80. And then my white blend wine is Goddess, and she's cute.
Okay.
Hey, do I got a bottle? I don't have a bottle here, but I do have pictures of it. And I it's a picture of, I actually painted her. I'm looking at the painting right now. Me and my friend, who's my best friend I just lost in October,
Sorry,
uh,
yeah.
the picture of her, the picture that we painted at a sip and paint, that's my picture on my wine. So I'm looking to open my wine cafe in the spring.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's gonna be a cool chill vibe, here in Colorado, being a native. And then I want to tap into local Colorado wine country. Have you ever
Mhm.
been to any of our wine country?
No, I've been spoiled because I'm only a short drive away from Napa, so I've seen the Napa stuff a couple of times.
Okay, so yeah, I want to make sure we tap into Colorado vineyards. I go to the wine tasting over at Elways, and so I'm friends with it's called Sea Shellers. They're another wine distributor, and they're absolutely wonderful, that husband and wife team, and they're Coloradans. And so, me being a woman owned business, black owned business, I just, I like wine. And
Yeah.
it's chill. I like it. It's cool. I like drinking hard liquor too, but I am getting older. You know, you kind of like, okay, don't want to do that.
Right, 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 right.
Fine, because I'm not trying to be sauced. I'm just want to have a good drink here and there and good conversation. And that's what my winery is going to be about: good conversation, sipping some wine, do small little wine tastings. We can do parties, events if need be, and then just somewhere for anybody to come and unwind. You know,
Yeah.
so.
I can see it now. 2031, be the official champagne supplier for the Colorado Rockies when they win the pennant. Just
Man, because I'll be the first one. Hey, y'all know I sell wine.
right. It's like this just popping bottles. Oh man, this wine's dope. And it's locally made. Hey.
It's locally made. We can just make this. Oh, bling. Yep. Bling, bling. I'm bougie, bougie. It's
Yeah.
okay.
So what would you say to someone who maybe not out, not maybe not living in Colorado, maybe out of state, saying, I don't think the Colorado Rockies have black fans. I don't think that's a thing. What do you would tell them?
Well, you wrong, because we got Colorado. They got black Coloradans up here, and we ain't riding horses, so we do be watching baseball.
Yeah.
Still riding horses. I'm like, yeah, we are some cowboys. There's some of us that are cowboys, cowgirls, but we out here.
And you
We
got 2024, you're back a season ticket holder. Are you doing more games at all?
this next season,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a season ticket holder, not for baseball. I'm exploring it for basketball, but for baseball, I really just grab a bunch of dates, and then I'm like, yeah, I want to buy these dates, and I just do that.
Oh wow, that's what's up.
Yeah, because I got 4 children and 3 grandivas, and I'm about to have a grandson here next month. So we got to add on another couple dates when he get older, because I gotta have my date be my grandson. He
You
might be
know,
the next baseball player.
the first time you said Grand Diva, I thought I misheard you. You literally did say Grand Diva. you,
Yeah,
you
I got 3 grandivas, and that's copyrighted, so don't be stealing it.
Thank you so much for being on In the Booth. If someone wanted to follow you or connect with you or your business, how to go about doing that?
Well, you can connect with me on Facebook. Why not by Kia? WINENOTBYKIA on Facebook, or just my name, Nakia Graves. To reach out on Instagrams, and as well as TikTok. Nope, I didn't say that right. TikTok. I don't know how to say it, but why not buy Kia on both of those? And I'm gonna get my website going. And yes, you can order wine from me. I do have white blend and red blend wine if you'd like to try that. And I'm gonna try to do some tastings, but be on the lookout in the spring for Wine Not by Kia Cafe.
Thank you
Perfect.
so much. It means the world to me. Hopefully, goes out there and let people know that Colorado's in the building.
We in the building, because I mean, baseball is fun. So